They say this is a big rich town. Oh, I just come from the poorest part. White like city lights, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. I just happen to come apart. Legal or illegal, baby, I gotta make it. If you owe me money, they say this is a big rich town. They say this is a big rich town. Oh, I just come from the poorest part. White like city lights, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. I just happen to come apart. Legal or illegal, baby, I gotta make it. If you owe me money, they say this is a big rich town. They say this is a big rich town. Oh, I just come from the poorest part. White like city lights, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. I just happen to come apart. Legal or illegal, baby, I gotta make it. If you owe me money, they say this is a big rich town. They say this is a big rich town. Oh, I just come from the poorest part. White like city lights, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. I just happen to come apart. Legal or illegal, baby, I gotta make it. If you owe me money, they say this is a big rich town. They say this is a big rich town. Oh, I just come from the poorest part. White like city lights, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. I just happen to come apart. Legal or illegal, baby, I gotta make it. If you owe me money, they say this is a big rich town. They say this is a big rich town. Oh, I just come from the poorest part. White like city lights, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. I just happen to come apart. Legal or illegal, baby, I gotta make it. If you owe me money, they say this is a big rich town. They say this is a big rich town. Oh, I just come from the poorest part. White like city lights, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. I just happened to come apart. Legal or illegal, baby, I gotta make it. If you owe me money, you need it. They say this is a big rich town. They say this is a big rich town. Oh, I just come from the poorest part. White like city lights, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. I just happened to come apart. Legal or illegal, baby, I gotta make it. If you owe me money, you need it. They say this is a big rich town. They say this is a big rich town. Oh, I just come from the poorest part. White like city lights, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. I just happened to come apart. Legal or illegal, baby, I gotta make it. If you owe me money, you need it. They say this is a big rich town. They say this is a big rich town. Oh, I just come from the poorest part. White like city lights, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. I just happened to come apart. Legal or illegal, baby, I gotta make it. If you owe me money, you need it. They say this is a big rich town. They say this is a big rich town. Oh, I just come from the poorest part. White like city lights, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. I just happened to come apart. Legal or illegal, baby, I gotta make it. If you owe me money, you need it. They say this is a big rich town. They say this is a big rich town. Oh, I just come from the poorest part. White like city lights, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. I just happened to come apart. Legal or illegal, baby, I gotta make it. If you owe me money, you need it. They say this is a big rich town.
CT in this. Before a nigga take off. Rest in peace to take off. Hey, Prima, I feel like daintezjackson today. Look. I ain't gotta be a pimp ashamed to tell you that these hoes is messy. Feel like DanaJay every day when these crazy bitches stress me. Light-skinned chick, hard, dark, all I act, but she gave me thousands just to play my part. I'm glad it went left, cause you was never right. Worse than your friend praying in the day, scamming at night. I work to put food on my plate. I love when they hate. Bitches working out for 3 years, never lost no motherfucking weight. Don't tell me this is really how it goes. Internet thugging, life goes. All that doxing, no boxing. Alicia was popping. Grab your pistol, we plotting. On they head like a toboggan. Keep my name in her mouth, knowing she don't rock with me. Miss Bougie said blame it on alcohol and her hysterectomy. Hate to see you frown because I let you down. Y'all call me Bozo, I'm John Wayne Gacy clown. I'm built for this shit. Go to war when you ready. Gun to your stomach, pregnant shells in your belly. Cute face, but your body fucked up already. When you sent your pic to Kels, he said seems like you ain't ready. Fuck the terrorist network. Are you amazed? I'm the big bad wolf that Levi Rkelly raised. Shush, preach, devil, this the gospel. Used to tell me put it on the table, then you grab the liquor bottle. I ain't a killer, but don't push me. At the same time, I'm praying that you push me. Miss Pissy Pussy, speaking of pussy, your whole team is pussy. Your friend actually ate adopted minor child pussy. Your leader actually put his penis in his own daughter's pussy. So y'all pushing P, y'all down with OPP. Land of the frauds, y'all all about that PPP. You was on my team and then you left the group. Pleasure P.
You donated $1,500 to own my radio loan. Secondly, you gave me $5 alone throughout the time. That's $2,000 right there. And then you were sending me money alone, like 50 here, 100 here, 150 there. And you saying that you were supporting the channel. But when me and you was rocking, I was the only channel you were supporting. Don't lie. You set out your own mouth. I ain't supporting nobody else. I'm only supporting you. You and Levi is all I rock with. I showed the messages. So if you got a lot of kicking, that's you. But I ain't gonna lie about shit. I'm thankful for your support. But when you wanna get out here and act the ass, I'ma act the ass with you. You tried to do what your homie do. You can't buy me. I can't be bought. I'm a real ass nigga. And I'm a street nigga at that. So if you wanna keep buying, I'ma let you buy. But the problem is you never got the product. So all that shit you talking, I ain't never like him, I ain't da. But wasn't it you that came out the shower in Miami and said, so what if I do mess with Dana? Make it make sense. Sad. Because you got a lot of good potential. But you can't put down the bottle. Sad. You can be a good mother, but you can't put down the bottle. I guess the truth always hurt when it come from a motherfucker that you never thought it'd come from.
What you gon' do now? Hope you're ready, cause I'm really about to put it down. Girl, you know that I will never disrespect you. We love tomorrow, but tonight I wanna spend you. That ass, girl, gotta make it last, girl. But also, then I'ma beat it up fast, girl. I push it down, let it be known. Tell your girls get down or get low. Back away from the door.
I know that there's more. More for you, more for us.
Children, rain all night long. Didn't it all, oh my Lord, didn't it rain?
Didn't it rain, children? Rain all night long. Didn't it all? Didn't it all? Oh, my Lord, didn't it rain?
You can't run from it. You can't deny it. You can't pass it off. It's your call. God knew what he was doing. He knew who he was calling. And he expertly and intricately detailed every aspect of your life, your being, your persona, your psyche, your physicality, everything about you, from the texture of your hair to the color of your eyes to the way that you laugh to the fingerprint on your thumb. Everything is connected to your calling. And until you walk into the fullness of the thing that you were created for, you will find yourself frustrated. You're called.
Just be send me to jail.
Yeah.
The fucking nigga in the ass.
It's for them internet motherfuckers is out there meddling in other people's business.
I ain't scared the fucking nigga in the ass.
Not all bloggers. You know who you are. Niggas and bitches said that we would never make it. What they talking about? Conquest and religion gave them bitches something to talk about. They tried to stop the book, but they can do it. Now that book is out. I'm gonna make them take back everything they said about their mouth. These bitches out there lying on the player, they be chasing clout. They never talk about the tea they spilling coming from their house. They all up in your business talking loud with that big old mouth. But 9 times out of 10, don't know what they talking about. I know y'all believe in us, but it's only yourself you doubt. If I was you, I'd be trying to get out, take another route. Cause that can get you fucked up. I was out there trying to run your mouth. I see you hide behind that keyboard, cause niggas wanna take you out. Yeah, we gon' give you bitches something to talk about. We see you running off like diarrhea at the mouth. Them clicks and likes on your channel about to fade out. Stump them roaches, get that braid and kill them all now. Yeah, we gon' give you bitches something to talk about. We see you running off like diarrhea at the mouth. Them clicks and likes on your channel about to fade out. Stump them roaches, get that braid and kill them all
you
now.
old broke ass bum bitch, nigga, come and get you some. Fucking bitches off of Kel's name, cause they slow and dumb. Woman beating ass nigga, bet you won't fight a man. Running up on bro, trying to take a pic and shake his hand. That's why he won't deal with you, never saw you as a man. You and your whole entourage full of fucking scam. Making threats to my fam, that's the wrong move, boy. Doxing people kin to me, you think that shit is cool, boy? Spreading lies, saying we started this, you broke the rules, boy. Drop that location, have you shaking in your boots, boy. Don't make me call them truths, boy. They posted on that roof, boy. Sending pictures to your enemies to show that proof, boy.
Yeah, we gon' give you bitches something to talk about. We see you running off like diarrhea at the mouth. Them clicks and likes on your channel about to fade out. Stump them roaches, get that braid and kill them all now. Yeah, we gon' give you bitches something to talk about. We see you running off like diarrhea at the mouth. Them clicks and likes on your channel about to fade out. Stump them roaches, get that braid and kill them all now. I see y'all coming at my brothers and my family, that's a no-no. Chi-Town finest, that's my sister and she trained to go. DanaJay, my brother, to the dream team about to blow. Haters in the bushes every night just to watch them glow. Get some commentary on your own, bitch. Stop stealing shit. Talking all tough on YouTube, but you ain't killing shit. You got some gay tendencies, the whole world know you like the dick. You said it out your own mouth, now who really is the bitch? Oh, police ass nigga, and we know you a snitch. Broke ass, bum ass, mad cause we filthy rich. A morphodite ass nigga, got a stick in the click. With no testosterone, the stronger side of you is the bitch. Yeah, we gon' give you bitches something to talk about. We see you running off like diarrhea at the mouth. Them clicks and likes on your channel about to fade out. Stump them roaches, get that braid and kill them all now. Yeah, we gon' give you bitches something to talk about. We see you running off like diarrhea at the mouth. Them clicks and likes on your channel about to fade out. Stump them roaches, get that braid and kill them all now. Yeah. You motherfuckers play too many motherfucking games. Me and my crew over here laughing at y'all motherfuckers. Y'all funny as hell. Y'all actually should have went in comedy. You know it's like Yeah. A small percentage of the YouTube space. It's like we in a big ass motherfucking abandoned ass house. Got ratchet ass hoes talking about shit. Then we got rats. We got motherfucking roaches. We got all type of motherfucking critters crawling around this motherfucker. Get that motherfucking raid out. We finna go to war with you motherfucking rodents.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it! Oh yeah. See, y'all ain't think I was gonna be back. See, I could have just stayed back. I just could have said, you know. But one thing I'm gonna tell you, two things for sure. I have platforms that I deal with. And Melon was acting crazy earlier. I mean, it was like, I'll be talking and it just shut off like, oh no. We ain't gonna do this, baby. We ain't gonna do this, baby. Mm-mm. So now I had to put Melon on timeout. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. What's going on? I see your child. I see you, Judah. I see you, DV Wild. I see Aisha. Hey, long time no see. Wendy Bryan, how you doing? Darlene Williams, what's up, baby? Miss Lady T, I see you. Tiff, I see you. Listen. If you want to support the channel, hit the little box right there that got the $sign in it. Also, if you look at the bottom, you can hit my Cash App, $sign OfficialDanaJay. If you want to Zelle me, you can Zelle me. You can Zelle me at book, B-O-O-K, Dana, D-A-N-A, J-J-A-Y at gmail.com. Also, don't forget, subscribe, like, share, subscribe to my Patreon. It's only $5 a month. Also, if you want to become a member, of this channel, just go ahead and subscribe and become a member. It's only $4.99, which is $5 a month. Okay. So, I appreciate everybody for being here. You could have been anywhere in the world. I see me coming on late. The numbers, oh my God, the numbers was low today. That's okay. Because, you know, when I come on tomorrow, I'm coming on knocking niggas' heads off. You know what I mean? So everybody that's live, I guess everybody want to jump live and listen to what the beef is. And I don't got time for that today. I really don't got time for it today. Unless the Facebook stream is set to public. Yeah, by default. Okay, cool. Yeah. Yep. So now I'll be able to see who all is streaming, who all is saying something. I can't post. Why not? Facebook profile. Facebook page, yeah. Hold on. Let me go in and clear this up real quick. Before I get to going. Because when I get to going about this topic, people going to be mad. But, you know, I ain't worried about it. Because there's no reason to be mad. And the reason why I say that is because at the end of the day, I've done tried to tell y'all what was going on for the longest. I've tried to tell y'all what was going on for the longest. Nobody wanted to listen. So with that being said, I'm just sitting over here like, yo, I mean, one day I guess people gonna listen to when I talk. One day. Hey, Leanne, what's going on? Georgia girl, what's up? Hold on. And before I get to going, I do have something that I need to show y'all guys. And it goes like this. Hold on. Is this it? No. That's not it. Hold on. Here it is. This is it. Oh, Lord. This is it. It's something that I got to show y'all, and I think all of us can participate in. And it goes a little something like this. Hit it. Let's see. Get that out of the way. Okay. It goes a little something like this.
Hello, welcome to my channel, and I am your host, Georgia Girl. Today I'm sharing that I'm doing a Christmas raffle. I'll be wrapping off a custom-made self-care Christmas stocking. These stockings are made through my online store. You could have your logo or your name put on it, and it will be stuffed with lots of goodies. All proceeds are going toward my fundraiser for my dad, which will help with medical expenses and travel expenses. I do want to shout out the ones that have gave me donations along the way and have also purchased a ticket. May God bless you all. I hope you all have a blessed day. Stay encouraged and always stay prayed up. The winner will be announced on the 16th. So thanks for watching.
All right. Georgia girl is holding a raffle, y'all. Y'all know what we do. We support our own. We don't wait for nobody to help or wait for nobody to do it for us. We support our own. And the reason why we support our own, because we don't got time for nobody else trying to support what and who we call family. You feel me? That's all I'm saying. So now let's get into this content. Uncle Luke, Arron Hall, Rkelly, Gloria Valez. Now, if y'all remember, I told y'all a while back, I said, people is going to try to spin the block. And Rkelly was the prototype. I told y'all that, right? I said Rkelly was the prototype for all men out here. People looked at me like I was crazy. They act like, oh, Dane ain't know what he was talking about. Well, now that y'all see what's going on, right? I'm going to ask y'all this question. And I know some people going to say, oh my God, I can't believe Dana going to say this and this and this and this and this. Well, we're going to unpack some truth. I'm going to ask y'all this question, and I need y'all to put the answers in the chat. Who came out first, Rkelly or Arron Hall? Put the answers in the chat. I can't answer. Georgia Girl Cash App is right there on the screen. What up, J-Rock? Who came out first? J-Rock, don't go nowhere because I know you want to love this. Who came out first, Arron Hall or Rkelly? Judah said, Arron with Guy. J-Rock said Earn Hall. DV Wild said Earn Hall. Georgia Girl said Earn Hall. Does that count? Yeah, it counts. Everything counts. So if Earn Hall came out first with Guy, right? What label was Guy signed to? I'm going to unpack this real quick for you. What label was Guy signed to? That's all I want to know. What label was Guy signed to? Lexington Wren, no. You said with MGM, nope. Sure enough, not. Because if you want to go that far back, Earn Hall came out first with the Hall brothers. I got somebody that knows something. Judah said, are you talking solo wide? No. Uptown Records. Oh, okay. Okay, now watch this. MCA Uptown. Uh-oh. Somebody, I got two people that know a little something. Toy said MCA. Okay. I'm going to ask you this question. Who was MCA brought out by? Toy said MCA too. Who was MCA brought out by? And I'm going to help y'all with this real quick because this is going to help you. Somebody said Jive. No, not Jive. Hold on. Georgia Girl said MCA was brought out by Rkelly. No. I like y'all answers, man, because we getting into it. Sony brought out MCA. So if Sony brought out MCA, good question. I mean, good answer, DV Wild. Great answer, J-Rock. And Universal brought out Uptown, right? What label did Rkelly come out on? And this should help a lot of y'all. What label did Rkelly come out on? Y'all hear it a little loud. What label did Rkelly come out on? Uh-oh. All these Universal, all these Rkelly people, and nobody know the answer? Let's see. J-Rock said Jive. Watch this. Who brought out Jive? If Rkelly came out on Jive, who brought out Jive? Y'all just said it. Toy said Jive. That's right. Y'all just said it. I'm telling you, I'm going to unpack it for all of y'all. Who brought out Jive? RCA didn't brought out Jive. They partnered in with Jive. Jive was brought out by I got one person I know. Thanks, Ren. Appreciate you, bro, for the 10-piece. Ooh. Wait a minute. And DV Wild, no, Uptown didn't buy out Jive. Sony brought out, no, Jive and Epic merged. Sony brought out Jive, RCA, and Universal, and they brought half a stock in Def Jam. But they let Def Jam sit. And that's why Jimmy, not Jimmy Iovine, what's that man's name? Not Tommy Mottola. Leo Cohen. Leo Cohen went and brought out Def Soul. But Universal split and said, no, I don't want to do that. So from that point, right, that's what made a Kadar Massenberg go and start his own joint. Are you on it, J-Rock? So if Sony was the conglomerate, that was buying everybody out, but then just laying dormant, what happened to Earn Hall? And when I told y'all and before, Rkelly is great. Don't get me wrong. But I'm about to show you how the industry unpacks you. Arron Hall had a problem. He couldn't talk. He can sing, but he couldn't talk. He had a speech impediment. A bad one, to the point where he had to put rocks up under his tongue so he wouldn't stutter. But watch this. Arron Hall also had a fetish. His fetish. Do anybody know what Arron Hall fetish was? Arron Hall had a fetish, and it was Spanish women, because his mama was Spanish. And Papa Hall was a hood nigga from Harlem. Now ask me how I know. Shout out to my spiritual father, the great Dr. Todd M. Hall. Now we can unpack this, because people really don't understand what's really going on. And I kept telling y'all, the industry repeats itself, just like history. So when I said before, don't let these people get caught in the Rkelly spectrum. And people's like, Dana, what are you talking about? But I said, because the spectrum is Rkelly is the only person that went through this. And I said, that's a lie. I said, don't let Rkelly get caught in the spectrum. The spectrum I was talking about was the Arron Hall spectrum. So while people coming out here and was saying it for years, oh no, this Me Too just started. No. The Me Too didn't just start. The Me Too started, and the original Me Too, it wasn't going after celebrities. The original Me Too was only going after people who started boycotts that messed up the money for the system, i.e. Dr. Martin Luther King, i.e. Malcolm X. I'm just saying. So if that's what the Me Too system was for, how in the hell is this new system a Me Too system? I'm going to tell you how. Because you had one person, just like they did in school. One person to say, I don't agree with prayer being in school. You had one person that said, you know what? I don't like what they did to me years ago. I'm a victim. And you had a greedy lawyer by the name of Gloria Arron, who was the center of Roe versus Wade. A lot of y'all ain't know that. Gloria Arron lied to the Supreme Court to get Roe versus Wade passed. If you think I'm lying, go look it up. And she used a subtitle alias name. I think I did a live on that too. Y'all gotta find it. I don't remember the name of it. But she used a sub-alias name on the paperwork for Roe versus Wade. And that's how Roe versus Wade got passed. That's why her and her cronies was upset when they overturned Roe versus Wade. Because first of all, you can't have something in place called a law when it's a lie. The law is not supposed to lie. The law is not supposed to break the law, right? Okay, so watch this. I told y'all for years that I knew Gloria Valaz personally. And I knew she was pushed up. Hey, gorgeous Nubian Victoria, how you doing? I told you Gloria Valaz was pushed up to say that Arron Hall violated her. Why? She looked young. She was Spanish. She was light-skinned. Arron Hall was considered what? A niggus. Not an N-I-G-G-A, but an N-I-G-U-S. What does that mean? That's supposed to be a term for black man. Let's unpack. So when that happened, you're looking at the fact that this lady said, I'm a victim. Then years later, after getting Arron Hall locked up, watch this. Arron Hall came home. And you're going to hear the story. He had a 10-year probation. And he had to stay away from her. But because he wanted to see his child born, or his offspring born, he caught 5 years in jail. Hold on. So you mean to tell me that because I want to see my offspring born, and I got to choose between house arrest and seeing my offspring born, I can get 5 years in jail? Not just in any jail. You want to send me to Rikers Island. Truth to be told, Sony wanted Arron Hall to die in Rikers Island. So what did they do? Sony said, Damien, come here. Teddy Riley, come here. Y'all got to perform as Guy without Arron Hall and still bring the numbers in and still pay us. Damien Hall said no. Sony said, okay. They called Teddy by himself and called him up and said, form Blackstreet. We got to get paid. And since Guy's on the shelf, the next thing to Guy would be what? Blackstreet. And because they know you, they can identify yours for that Guy sound with Blackstreet. So, in order for Blackstreet to be successful, you got to have 2 singers, plus a guy that can play and can arrange. But what makes Guy different from Blackstreet? Nothing but the number count. Because in Guy, you got a church nigga, you got a dancing nigga, and you got a playing nigga. And Blackstreet, the original, you had a church nigga, you had a street corner singing nigga that can dance, you got a playing nigga, and you just got a dancing nigga that can harmonize. Well, who can we replace Arron with? Nobody. So who can we get close that can make the ladies drop their panties? There's a little fat boy on the south side of Chicago called Dave Hollister. Go bring him into the group. Go bring him into the group. The song, and see, I'm dropping all nuggets tonight. The song Before I Let You Go was original Guy track. So now when you hear Arron Hall say little stuff like chump niggas do such and such and such and such, that's what he's talking about. Because he recorded the song and before he went to jail. Before I Let You Go, that was a Guy track. That was their comeback track. So let's go here. Ladies did not want to give Arron Hall the time of the day. They said he was black. He looked like one of the milk duds from the California Raisins. And they said that his breath was kind of funky. So Arron Hall did what he knew how to do. Grabbed that mic, because he couldn't talk. He'd grab that mic and resurrect your grandmama singing. Then he'd take you backstage. Watch this. And he uses sex as a tool of communication. Now, what man you know that grew up in the 90s that didn't use sex as a tool of communication? That's all I'm asking. What man? What man you know that didn't use sex as a tool of communication? I wait. I see if somebody gonna say, "Oh, I know somebody didn't," and I tell you, you're a liar. And I will tell you, you're a liar. Because every man did. Whether the females liked it or not, every man did. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you some details of what's going on, right? I'm going to show you some clips. And I'm trying to figure out, how did Arron Hall go to jail? Now it's about to get serious. Because this can be any one of us. The same way they got Arron, the same way they came back and got robbed. Before there was a Arron, there was a Peebo Bryson. Before there was a Peebo Bryson, there was a what is that guy name? Shoot. Man. One that can sing real good. Oh, man. Little skinny, dark-skinned guy. Anyway. And before that was a skinny, little, dark-skinned guy, there was a Little Richard. So, I'm going to play this in backward sequence so you can understand how the label, when they want to get rid of you, they'll set you up. Watch this. This might hurt.
Luke said that he introduced you to Gloria Velez.
Luke didn't introduce me to no Gloria Velez. We can call Luke right now. You know what I mean?
He said it in an interview a while back.
Look what I'm saying to you. She was standing up with a Jamaican rapper named Mad Lion.
Okay, I know who that is.
Big Pun, Fat Joe, Method Man, like whoever you speak to, just ask them how I did it. I got out the limo, grabbed her hand, went upstairs and fucked her. Luke didn't never fucking introduce me to anybody.
Okay.
In his life. I love Luke to death.
He just had on point.
But can't nobody look, the reason why he's saying he introduced me to it, because it's a good thing to say, okay, I introduced Arron Hall to this girl. I took her. Me and Gloria's cool. We got cool in 2 weeks. You feel me? I'm a boss. I ain't gonna argue with you about no shit and you an umbilical cord bitch. You fucking 35, 36 years old. I'm not gonna disrespect you, but I'm a boss motherfucker. And I love my son, so I ain't gonna break probation by fucking with you and not being able to speak to him again.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Right. But when I speak to a nigga that got dick and balls, he can never say introduce me to no bitch. Nobody ain't never introduced me to a bitch in their life. I wish they did. The thing is that you can ask Gloria though. It has nothing to do with me. I don't like talking about no man. We both Adam first.
You know something? I just remembered that Gloria had tattooed Arron's right above her.
In black, red, and green.
Right above her vagina.
Right above it with a parenthesis with an S.
Right.
Arron's.
It belongs to...
Look. When I saw her, she was dancing with Luke and them. I didn't know she was a puppy, you know what I mean?
That's right.
She was tall, she was big, blonde hair, bone with the black pant leather. I was like, I'm getting that. Everybody knows I couldn't even really speak then. I had a speech impediment. I don't stutter anymore. So I just went there and just grabbed her hand and went inside the hotel and gave it to her. You feel me? So she gonna say Luke is lying. You feel me? Okay. Because I don't lie on my dick. You feel what I'm saying? My mother was Puerto Rican from Ponce. So when I see anybody that's Spanish, I'ma grab them.
Okay.
I ain't gonna ask if you holding the hand all loose and you holding a conversation with a nigga.
Preach.
I'm gonna take your bitch. She chose up already. Now if she wanna go renegade, go renegade, bitch.
At what point did she get the tattoo?
3 days after I fucked her.
3 days.
3 whole days. If anybody can do that shit, I don't care if you was married, I don't care if you was engaged, if your anniversary, if your bitch did that shit, then I'll stop singing I Miss You. But my whole thing is this, is that I love Gloria to death because she gave me a beautiful son.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So my whole thing is that I want to make sure that it's right. I love my son Arron Robin Hall IV to death. I ain't seen him in 15 years, but I love him to death. We talk all the time. Gloria didn't do no bad thing to me. I thought she was older. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes I see a puppy on the field when I'm doing dog training. I think it's a year old or 2 years old, and it'd be like 8 months. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So when I saw her, everybody was trying to get at her.
Right.
Why y'all scared of her? I took her. I couldn't even talk. I had a speech impediment. Ask her.
Yeah, because they didn't know what to do.
They ain't know what to say.
Whoa. Whoa. So my question is this. And listening, and I bit my jaw. And listening to what Arron Hall said, right? You hear a lot of what Rkelly have been saying and what Arron Hall have said, right or wrong. What did Rkelly tell you? If you are not for sure about your girl, I'm gonna take your bitch. Excuse my French, but that's what he said. Now, do you find anything wrong with Arron Hall? He told you, I can't talk. Rob can't read or write. When Rkelly come onto the scene, your chick leaves. Why? Because they want Rkelly. They don't give a damn about Robert. They want Rkelly. When Arron came onto the scene, they wanted Arron. They ain't give a fuck about Arron Hall. So, do you think it's by chance that Gloria Valaz was just sitting out there with Luke? Do you think it's by chance? Now listen, we talking about face down, ass up, Mr. I Wanna Rock. Now hold on. Gloria Valaz came out and said she was in high school. Hold on. Hold on. Because we're going to unpack something.
Luke said that he introduced you to Gloria Velez.
Luke didn't introduce me to no Gloria.
Speaking of that and influences, your baby father.
Yes.
You want to elaborate on that story?
Well, my son's father's Arron Hall, if
That's right.
y'all don't know.
Let's turn it around. And
Wait, did you know that I was his baby mother the time I met you?
I did not know. Arron Hall, I did not
That's
know
what he pleads.
that was your baby mama. I had no idea.
I don't believe that.
I told him that.
I know you did.
Right. I told him. I was like, hey, man, I didn't know that was your baby mama. But the reason why we laughing about that, because apparently something went viral. Would you like to share with the audience?
Oh, my God. Okay, so as you know on Vlad TV, Vlad gets people flustered. And he flustered my son's father. And my son's father said a few things that were not so pleasant about me.
Oh.
But this is 8 years ago, so it just recently went viral.
Where my pearls at?
She was standing up with A Jamaican rapper named Mad Lion.
Okay, I know who that is.
Big Pun, Fat Joe, Method Man, like whoever you speak to, just ask them how I did it. I got out the limo, grabbed her hand, went upstairs and fucked her. When I saw her, she was dancing with Luke and them. I didn't know she was a puppy, you know what I mean?
That's right.
She was tall, she was big, blonde hair, bone with the black pant leather. I was like, I'm getting that. Everybody knows I couldn't even really speak then. I had a speech impediment. I don't stutter anymore. So I just went there and just grabbed her hand and went inside the hotel and gave it to her. My mother was Puerto Rican, from Ponce. So when I see anybody that's Spanish, I'm going to grab them.
Okay.
I ain't going to ask if you holding the hand all loose and you holding a conversation with a nigga.
Preach.
I'm going to take your bitch. She chose up already. Now, if she want to go renegade, bitch.
So I want to say this in response to that we're in a better place now. He apologized to me and my son. He's great to my son, and now we have a grandchild, and he's a great grandfather. So I don't need a public apology. I don't care what people think or what people, the past is the past. I forgive him for everything. And I think forgiveness is key to move forward for healing myself and healing him. And now we can laugh. We've cried about things and we move forward from it.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's why I could be on Vlad TV,
Slow clap, ladies and gentlemen. Slow clap. Bring it up.
But it's real.
That's
it's growth.
Awesome. No, because I remember when you told me that that he was your baby's dad. I told you a story that a lot of people may not know. Before I sang any R&B music, I was singing gospel music.
Right.
The first R&B song I ever sang was "Goodbye Love" by Guy, which was led by your baby father.
Right.
And so 60 degrees of separation.
Right.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Goodbye Love, man. It was like that was because I was.
So with that being said, right? With that being said, Gloria Valaz now come out and claim that she was a dancer, or no, she claimed that she was in school, that she was a teenager. But it was said that she was dancing for Luke. So hold on. You dancing for Luke, but you in high school. Something ain't right. Once again, do you think it's by chance that Gloria Valaz was sitting there? Now watch this. I'm going to show you Gloria Valaz 2 years. No, 18 months after she had her baby with Arron Hall. First things first, a victim is not going to put a man's name in 3 different colors on the top part of their coochie with an arrow that point down. But Arron Hall went to jail because Sony backed the charges, because Sony wanted to get Arron Hall out the way. Well, we needed Arron Hall out the way because there was a little guy from Chicago that stand about 6'4". And he got another ailment too. See, Arron Hall was rough around the edges. Arron Hall will pick up a bat and bust you in your daggone head. But we got a dude from Chicago who just be peaceful, but he can make you step in the name of love. He can make you scream and holler with honey love. He can just tell you about the DJ and ask him to slow it down for you. So I'm going ahead of myself. Let's look at what Gloria Valaz looked like. Uh-huh. Do anybody know who that woman is I just showed you? Because if you know who that woman is, she set the bar for everything. Who is that woman? Nah, man, I'm 6'1". I mean, I'm 6'2.5". And Robert's a little taller than me. Robert's 6'4". I got one person I know who it is. One person. Come on, man. We can't have this conversation if y'all don't know who that is, man. That's Melissa Ford. Now, Melissa Ford set the bar for what we call video vixens. Everybody wanted to know and wanted to be like and wanted to look like Melissa Ford. So $18 months removed from her having a baby. But then she come out and she say, Luke groomed her. Now, you know you can't play with Uncle Luke like that. You can't play with Uncle Luke like that. So this is what Uncle Luke had to say.
Let's learn what the grooming means. I don't even know what the grooming means. Grooming is grooming. They had to explain that to me. Y'all got the right one. I don't have no problem going to court. I'm the nigga who went to the Supreme Court. I sue your ass before you sue. I'm so good, I'm a lawyer. I got a whole bunch of lawyers just be sitting around doing nothing. I'm the guy who invented it. I coach up guys every day. I'm not Russell Simmons. I'm not them other people. I don't do that. I know my brand. My brand is Luke, hey, we want some pussy. Face down, up, that's what like. Me so horny. The problem is when you know your brand and you know what you're singing about, you subject yourself to be in that kind of trap faster. So what you have to do is really not be about what those songs is talking about, because you can get yourself jammed up. I video everything. Everybody sign releases. I do shows. Ain't no underage people be doing no show with me. I fire girls. You get caught, I have chaperone for the girls, a one-head dancer. It's always one-head dancer. And she put everybody in check. So you doing, this is not a traveling whorehouse. So you gonna mess around with these other artists, you're gonna get sent home, sweetheart.
Yo, it's Big Ant, the spokesman, man. We back, another edition.
Yo, did you hear what he just said? He said, if you want to mess with one of these other artists, you're going to get sent home. So let me ask you this. Now do you understand why Gloria Valaz is trying to say Luke groomed her? Because if Arron said she was there as a backup dancer for goddamn Luke, and he went and grabbed her and snatched her, took upstairs and busted her, and she was with him, Luke, cut the check. Oh, you go home, is it? Oh, you letting Arron hit you. It's over. We don't got nothing else to talk about. You letting Arron hit that. So now that you letting Arron hit that, ain't nothing I got to do. I don't got to worry about nothing else. Because you letting Arron bust that. You letting Arron Hall hit that. And that's disrespectful to me. That's how Luke carry it. Because I don't carry a traveling whorehouse. And you heard what he said. I do not carry a traveling whorehouse. So with that being said, I'm about to drop the bomb. I'm about to drop the bomb of all bombs. So when I came out and said that Gloria Valaz is looking for a check, and people was like, well, Dana, you don't know, you wasn't there, this and this and this and this and this and this and this. I told you I can speak on certain things and certain people because of who I be around and who I was around at that time, right? So I got to play this one time just for you, all right? And it go like this.
Everyone should have a healthy distrust of the media. One of the most dangerous, unspoken things in existence in the world today is a media controlled by a very small group of corporate entities. Every day, we are constantly lied to and constantly told what to think. and most of us never even realize it. It's become a duty and call to action to wake people up to this reality. Before blindly listening to what's hurled at you, everyone has a personal responsibility to at least know what's going on before handing your mind over to the many forms of media indoctrination. In short, wake up.
And you were interviewed by Lifetime. Did you say that?
Now, I showed you that little media clip because they don't understand, or people don't understand what really happened. Arron Hall was replaced by R. Kelly. But it wasn't organically because they were friends. But when Sony brought out everybody, they said, Arron Hall's a hothead. We're going to teach him a lesson. If you remember, when R. Kelly first came out, he had a Gumby. It wasn't until Arron Hall went to jail that you see R. Kelly with the bald head and the black shades. R. Kelly didn't think to do that because he said, I'm talented enough. I don't have to steal my friend's image. But they said, oh, yes, you do. Because the women want the bald head chocolate man with the black glasses that's freaky. So how did he get replaced? Remember, I played the media thing for you. Watch the lie.
A whole lot of there from Jamie Foxx to like Denzel Washington. I like the in public, you feel me? I like for them to see how I like if you speak to Joe to see or Puffy or any of them they been at my house, they all see me
Arron Hall is a name that many 90s kids remember, and like many singers, Arron has had his fair share of controversies. Given his explosive temperament, Hall was making headlines quite often, and not in a good way.
I took her! Me and Gloria's cool. I'm a boss. I ain't gonna argue with you about no shit and you umbilical cord bitch.
Despite his musical talents, Arron is most known as the R. Kelly #2, if you know what I mean. His name frequently found itself entangled in discussions surrounding high-profile scandalous affairs, overshadowing his musical prowess with the shadows of controversy.
I was actually in the studio when he recorded that. We just started dating.
You are live.
Swear to God, I was 16.
In his latest interview, the I Miss You singer recounted his cringy endeavors, inadvertently revealing his true association with Puff Daddy. Let's delve into the chilling intricacies of Arron's career that will unveil some truly disturbing secrets of the entertainment industry. The Caribbean-American singer Arron Hall has become the center of attention following his explosive interview with DJ Vlad. During the session, Arron seized the opportunity to boast about his prowess in the bedroom, boldly asserting that there was no B who didn't desire to engage in intimate encounters with him.
A whole lot of girls out there with the umbilical cords, them young 1970s, 1980s bitches. You know what I mean? They try to go up there with the, with the fresh out the shit.
As the interview progressed, Hall's claims got progressively worse. He had the galls to claim that his privates were worshipped by the female population.
That's right. If they with me, it's a big. Everybody know my son's mother. Everybody know that shit.
As cringy as it is to listen, it is important to remember that Arron had been unashamedly obnoxious since the beginning. In his bedroom godlike speech, he dropped a bomb that shook the entire industry. You see, Arron alluded that he and Diddy have a very close relationship, to the point that he would often take the girls right in front of him.
I like for them to see how I like if you speak to Joe to see or Puffy or any of them they been at my house, they all see me they all know I'm a big
Indeed, it has been widely whispered that Diddy has been hosting adult-oriented gatherings for an...
Hold on. So for the ones that was in my chat that said Dana was lying, that they picking on Puffy, and I said I knew a couple of the so-called models. So now you understand why Arron Hall was called by Diddy a whole lot. And see, I didn't want to say names at that time because that Cassie shit done unlocked a whole lot of problems for a whole lot of people. And I'm going to keep it real. It's people that y'all haven't even heard of that's about to come out the woodworks because them feds are coming. Them feds are coming. So when you see Arron telling you what's going on and what happened, the first thing people say is, oh no, Arron, it didn't happen that way. Listen. When Diddy called on him, he went. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But that's also how Arron got hooked up on drugs. So I'm going to say this once again. If Arron ain't never get hit by Sony that way, Arron would easily have been one of the kings of R&B. Everything Kels can do, Arron can do, or used to can do. But he can't do it no more. He had a long stint of drugs. I'm not saying Arron better than Kels, no. But what I'm saying is the industry got a way of fucking up friendships and fucking up family hoods. And if you ain't secure all the way around the board, if you don't have that supporting system, the industry will swallow you. If you don't have that right and that moral and them guts to say, man, fuck you, no. Then you're going to get swallowed up. On the flip side, if they want you, they're going to get you. One way or another. Red Fox said it the best. No good entertainer leaves the industry with what they have. They always leave broke. So let's finish unpacking this Arron Hall thing.
A whole lot of there from Jamie Foxx to like Denzel Washington. I like the in public, you feel me? I like for them to see how I like if you speak to Joe to see or Puffy or any of them they been at my house, they all see me
Arron Hall is a name that many 90s kids remember, and like many singers, Arron has had his fair share of controversies. Given his explosive temperament, Hall was making headlines quite often, and not in a good way.
I took her! Me and Gloria's cool. I'm a boss. I ain't gonna argue with you about no shit and you umbilical cord bitch.
Despite his musical talents, Arron is most known as the Rkelly #2, if you know what I mean. His name frequently found itself entangled in discussions surrounding high-profile scandalous affairs, overshadowing his musical prowess with the shadows of controversy.
I was actually in the studio when he recorded that. We just started dating.
You are lying.
Swear to God, I was 16.
In his latest interview, the I Miss You singer recounted his cringy endeavors, inadvertently revealing his true association with Puff Daddy. Let's delve into the chilling intricacies of Arron's career that will unveil some truly disturbing secrets of the entertainment industry. The Caribbean-American singer Arron Hall has become the center of attention following his explosive interview with DJ Vlad. During the session, Arron seized the opportunity to boast about his prowess in the bedroom, boldly asserting that there was no B who didn't desire to engage in intimate encounters with him.
A whole lot of girls out there with the umbilical cords, them young 1970s, 1980s bitches. You know what I mean? They try to go up there with the, you know, with the fresh out the shit.
As the interview progressed, Hall's claims got progressively worse. He had the galls to claim that his privates were worshipped by the female population.
They with me or something.
That's right.
If they with me, it's a big. Everybody know my son's mother. Everybody know that shit.
As cringy as it is to listen, it is important to remember that Arron had been unashamedly obnoxious since the beginning. In his bedroom godlike speech, he dropped a bomb that shook the entire industry. You see, Arron alluded that he and Diddy have a very close relationship, to the point that he would often take the girls right in front of him.
I like for them to see how I like if you speak to Joe to see or Puffy or any of them they been at my house, they all see me they all know I'm a big
Indeed, it has been widely whispered that Diddy has been hosting adult-oriented gatherings for an extended period. Given Arron Hall's unabashed claims, it certainly raises the intriguing possibility that he may have been a frequent attendee at such events. Moreover, after listening to Arron, you might have already realized that he is actually very much of a S fanatic. Now, with a mindset like that, it is no wonder why Arron's name comes up in many SA scandals.
So I just went there and just grabbed her hand and went inside the hotel and gave it to her. You feel me?
It might shock you to know that Arron does not believe in dating and pursuing women. He has openly admitted that he assesses a woman's value by the fact if she can satisfy him in bed or not.
A whole lot of niggas write about taking girls out to shop, taking girls to fly to Dubai and all that shit. Close your eyes, we anywhere.
Fans believe that Arron is the textbook example of toxic masculinity. One of them commented, "What in the entire F did he say? What man in his right mind admits to 2 other dudes witnessing him have S? As a black woman who happens to be a mother to a 23-year-old son. I'm embarrassed and ashamed by this type of display of masculinity, if you can call it that." Another pointed out that his derogatory language has effectively eliminated any respect the fans had for him. Listening to this was very disturbing. I really had fond memories of him in the group Guy and the times that they appeared on Bet with Donnie Simpson. At that time, he stuttered a lot, so maybe it's to cover up the impediment. I also agree, 30 years of the respect I had for him thrown away in 2 minutes and 48 seconds. The plot takes a sickening turn as Arron proudly announces that he'd had his way with Gloria Velez without much consent. However, what makes this revelation even more disturbing is the presence of prominent figures like Fat Joe and other influential names at the scene who seemingly stood by and did nothing to protect Velez. Arron boasted that she had just started dating a Jamaican rapper, but once he laid eyes on her, he took her by the arm and had his way with her for, quote, days to come.
Big Pun, Fat Joe, Method Man, like whoever you speak to, just ask them how I did it. I got out the limo, grabbed her hand, and went upstairs and f***ed her.
Paul excused his behavior by saying that he and Gloria are cool. It is rather disgusting to hear Arron parade around explaining his deranged acts as trophies. You can clearly hear how proud he is about the things he has done.
I took her. Me and Gloria's cool. We got cool in 2 weeks. You feel me? I'm a boss. I ain't gonna argue with you about no shit. You an umbilical cord bitch.
To bring things into perspective, you should know that when this all happened, Gloria was only 16 years old, barely a teenager. In a separate interview, Gloria dished the details. She said,
Arron Hall.
I was actually in the studio when he recorded that. We just started dating.
You are live.
Swear to God, I was 16.
It was a lot different.
Later on, the Bronx-born musician stated that he didn't even say anything to Gloria to entice her to come upstairs with him since he had a speech impediment at the time. He explained that every guy was after her at the time, but so many were afraid to actually approach her, which is why he stepped to her full of confidence and swiftly took her to his room. 3 days after their encounter, Arron recalled Gloria getting Aaron's tattooed right above her private part. He stated that he has nothing but love for her despite their drama-filled past, due to the fact that she gave birth to his son. The biggest takeaway from this incident was that Hall had the tendency to manipulate underage girls into being obsessed with him.
Gloria had tattooed Aaron's right above
in
her.
black, red, and green.
Right above her vagina.
Right above it with a parenthesis with an S.
Right.
Aaron's.
You might be thinking, why was Hall not held accountable for his misconduct? Well, in the very next second, Arron claimed that he was not aware of Velez's age at the time. If you ask us, it is quite apparent that Hall added this part so that he wouldn't get in trouble later.
Gloria didn't do no bad thing to me. I thought she was older. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes I see a puppy on the field when I'm doing dog training. I think it's a year old or 2 years old, and it'd be like 8 months. So I don't know.
Although Arron was able to escape the consequences of his action in Velez's case, karma soon caught him when he allegedly raised his hands to hurt one of his ex-girlfriends. Back in 1996, Hall pleaded guilty to attacking his ex-girlfriend and was sentenced to 5 years of probation. A few years later, he was ordered to undergo 2 years of anger management training, but when he failed to show up for one of the sessions, with Arron claiming he was delayed while traveling to witness the birth of his son, he wound up serving 11 months in Rikers Island. After the incident hit the mainstream media, Gloria took the opportunity to speak up against the injustice she had unknowingly faced in her formative years. She called Arron out for being a deranged creep for having a relationship with her in her teen years. On top of that, Velez clapped back, accusing him of hurting her and labeling him as a deadbeat dad who has never contributed to the care of their child. She said, quote, "Arron was abusive toward me, and I'll be damned if I'll put my son through that. There were days I couldn't go outside. I was so beat up. He can get lawyers involved." Hall, of course, has denied the abuse and says all attempts at child support were turned down. He claimed that Velez wanted to keep his son away from him. "I've seen the DVDs and everything. I haven't seen my son in 6 years. Why would I not want to see my son Arron? My first son died. That's why I did the video, I miss you. I haven't seen Arron the 4th in 6 years. Let me see my son." I walked up to Jay-Z. Ja Rule, I'm the realest you'll ever meet, and said, why don't you tell Gloria to let me see my son? In the wake of Gloria's accusations, another name was added to Hall's essay list. The word on the street claims that Patra exited the music industry after Hall had allegedly violated her. Although nothing has been proven, the majority of the public holds the rumor to be true. In an interview with Vibe magazine, she alluded that she took a long break from music because she went through something traumatic. She said, quote, yeah, what happened was I was taking a break to get my career on track. It's very simple. I just wanted to be in control, finish my education, and just to be happy. That's basically it. There's nothing really dramatic to discuss. I just needed to take that break to get myself and things together in order to be in control of my own business. To me, that is the most refreshing thing I was able to accomplish from my absence from the scene, is to be in control of my stuff. Some conspiracy theorists suggest that Arron may have forced himself upon her, and when she allegedly refused, Arron got violent with her. Quote, it astounds me the number of abusive R&B cats we've heard about over the years. Brian McKnight, Joe, Aaron Hall, Rkelly, Chris Brown, anyone else? How do you go from singing about making love and worshiping a woman's body to punching a woman square in her eye? Then again, it makes good sense. They probably learned to perfect their craft by singing love tunes to women after they just finished whooping their ass. Over the years, people have pointed out that Arron had always been a jerk when it came to women. You see, most of his songs portray his pleasure when he violently dominates his muse. It won't be wrong to say that Arron essentially glorified SA. One of his hit songs, Don't Be Afraid, is the embodiment of questionable narration. The lyrics of the song read, quote, no need to run and no need to hide. All the doors are locked, baby, and I have you inside. You can yell and you can hit me, it just makes me more horny, end quote. Someone needs to call the authorities because it seems like there is a beast on the loose. In the past, it used to be every teenager's favorite song. It simply shows how cleverly the music industry incorporates twisted concepts into our culture by using beats as crutches. If you think about it, these songs desensitize the people and inadvertently normalize inhumane crimes. Our culture includes jokes, TV, music, advertising, legal jargon, laws, words, and imagery that makes violence against women and coercion seem so normal that people believe that R is inevitable. Rather than reviewing the culture of R as a problem to change, people in a R culture think about the persistence of R as just the way things are, end quote. The point is that violence against women has long been normalized in society. This culture breeds beasts like Hall who are a menace to society in more ways than one. Coming back to the song Don't Be Afraid was an R-rated catchy tune that you could dance to. In the music video, Aaron Hall, mostly dressed in a suit, tie, and a pinky ring, sang about serious crimes in front of a city backdrop, while 4 women wearing cross-colors clothing danced around him in that bouncy late 80s/early 90s hip-hop style. The song was very reflective of the New Jack Swing era, which began to merge traditional R&B soul singing with the grittier hip-hop sampling and aesthetic. Those elements together made for the perfect cover to hide such ambiguous lyrics like, quote, the lyrics are off and I close the shades, so kiss me baby I say. Say one more time for the road, baby, I'm rising again. Give me a sedative, baby, don't be afraid. So not only are the doors locked, thus trapping the poor girl inside, but the lights are off too, which makes it impossible for our heroine in this story to see from which direction her attacker is coming. To be honest, we can really see the personality of Arron in the lyrics. Now even Rkelly's comparisons make sense. Apart from these allegations, it is important to discuss that Arron did not have a good relationship with his bandmates. You see, Hall and Riley had been friends since childhood. They formed Guy in 1987 and signed with Uptown Records, the original home of Mary J. Blige, and a hustling intern named Sean Combs. After making just 2 classic LPs, 1988's Guy and 1990's The Future, Guy split up. The fallout was permanent, however. They did try to reunite in 1993, but things didn't work out. After a while, Arron opened up about the slip, revealing that 2 alphas cannot be in the same pack. He said, quote, it was never a falling out. Me and Damien don't talk bad about Riley. The Hall brothers are focused. Riley just always tried to be in control of everything and it never happened. You can be in control of Blackstreet if you want, but you will not be in control of Guy. I just told him, Teddy, we was raised up around each other, dog. We owe this to the fans. He's seen I changed and I wasn't nuts, but over the years, their relationship has been deteriorating. You see, Arron alluded that Teddy was talking about him behind his back like a coward.
I mean like square try to say some square behind you can say Aaron Hall's a diva.
It's evident that Aaron's frustration with Teddy went beyond mere annoyance, as he chose to label Teddy as nothing less than an infection.
I ain't gonna say nothing about anybody, because square got a infection on them already, you feel me? That's so right. Real street see it already. He had that square infection.
We know that where Arron had the vocal cords, Riley had the brains. Fans are calling out Hall over social media claiming that he had no right to treat Riley like that. One of them commented, quote, "It's really sad to see this. Guy will always be probably my favorite R&B group, even with those 3 albums. This is why I tried to only have an association to the artist. Arron is an amazing and blessed singer and I will love those songs forever, but he seems like a horrible human. If Teddy didn't produce, write, and play on Groove Me, Goodbye Love, I Like, and all these joints, would we know who Arron Hall is? Not only that, Arron has brazenly put all the blame on Riley as he claimed that Riley was the reason the guys' reunion was not successful. He said, "It's all on Teddy. Me and Damien will do whatever. We don't have the control problem. Teddy is a genius in the studio, but you can't control something unless you're better. You can't tell the fans you're the leader of Guy and go on stage without me. See what they'll say. See what the reporters say. Sing all the songs yourself. I can sing all the songs by myself, but I don't. He can't sing Let's Chill, Goodbye Love, Piece of My Love, nothing. I can sing I Like, a cappella, and the audience will go crazy." Some of the fans claim that Arron is trying to undermine Riley's work when they were in the band. You can't diss Teddy. Teddy is a prime example of hard work, sobriety, and perseverance. If that's called being a square, then I'd rather be a square than a washed-up singer with a cane. Teddy is credited for over 700 songs. He gets a check more times than you blink per day. Think about that. Like many other artists, Arron Hall has been a part of many different controversies, but his recent interview suggests that he and Rkelly might have more in common than just appearance.
A whole lot of there from Jamie Foxx to like Denzel Washington. I like the in public, you feel me? I like for them to see how I like you speak to Joe to see or Puffy or not.
I'm gonna ask you for the last time. Do you see what's going on? Do y'all see what's going on? From the music in the background to the guy that's narrating that's a PR for Bad Boy. I'm gonna say it again. From the music in the background to the guy that's narrating that's a PR for Bad Boy. Why would they put Arron Hall in a good light? That's why when Rob and Arron hooked up for this song called Grudge, that's on Rob's new album that's going to come out when he come home, the industry going to be sick because now they can't control him. They can't control him. But do you hear what's going on in the background? Luke said he don't have underage girls traveling with him. But she said she was 16 when she met Arron. She met Arron outside the hotel dancing background for Luke. So Luke said, we can go to court. I keep all paperwork. I record everything. So hold on. Is Gloria Valez lying or is Luke lying? And was Arron Hall just a victim of a cute chick with a cute face with a body that's light skinned? So when you talk about what's going on, when you talk about, oh no, this is a Me Too, no. Before there was a Me Too, there was this too. There was a Vixen You. So my question is, you got Luke calling Gloria Valez a liar. You got Arron Hall that called her a liar, but said he haven't seen his son in 15 years, but he talked to him all the time. The same woman that turned down child support, but then turned around and said, he beat on me. But then turned around and said, I haven't dealt with him since I got him locked up for not paying child support. So wait a minute. How do you deny child support and then go public and say he a deadbeat because he don't pay child support? And then years later, you cry with him and everything is cool now. Yeah, because he's not where he used to be. So now everything gonna be cool because you can't get nothing from him. So you have no other choice but to speak great about your son's father, which is your granddaughter's grandfather. But watch this. Why did she get her vagina tattooed 3 times with the man's name with an arrow that point down to her vagina if she was a victim? The same question I asked for Geronda. Why would you get R. Kelly name tattooed on your wrist if you was a victim? Same thing for Faith. Why would you get R. Kelly name above your breast if you was a victim? Listen, wake up. A lot of people ain't gonna like what I had to say, but I don't give a damn. Wake up. Because what y'all looking at is the craziness of females. And the one thing they always say, females will stick together regardless. It's us men that won't. So with that being said, y'all seen the Arron Hall story. Now, let's tap into part 2 of Presidents, the R. Kelly story.
The following program contains descriptions of domestic violence and sexual abuse, some involving minors. Viewer discretion is advised. Previously on part 1.
My dad was a wise man, but a broken man. He didn't get the correct help that he needed in his life. As I started growing up and becoming an adult, I realized my father had a secret. He had Robert.
I do think that he has hurt in his story, his own trauma. Doesn't make anything right, but also I understand that there are non-famous hurt people who also hurt.
What if people around him said, I'm not gonna do that. You gotta get some therapy. You can't act like this. This would be a real different story.
Every black person that has pulled it up by their bootstraps and made something of themselves, they come up with something negative about it. And that's every one of them. This is bigger than R. Kelly, so if they can break Bill Cosby, they can break R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, he in his grave and they still trying to break him.
This is nothing about no race war because we're the ones that's fighting each other on this. Now, if we had a couple Caucasian victims, you would see a race war because you know why? He'd be done.
He was a broken man that didn't get the help that he needed.
Yes, you did, Bear. Yes, you did, Bear.
The question of race seems to be a debatable topic, be it in the entertainment industry or in the everyday regular circles of life. R. Kelly's success, as well as his failures, doesn't make him exempt from the parallels that have historically repeated themselves, as well as caused a passionate divide within public opinions. This is what makes his story, at times, even more intriguing. The mere fact that R. Kelly himself didn't realize the impact of race in America, or the common sense one would have, or should we say should have, based on the fact that with his last case, where the verdict was not guilty, he'd basically gotten away. The question that some would have is why didn't he just disappear? Remain quiet in an industry that promotes noise, sex, and even violence? Or could there be more to it? There are those who believe Kelly became a target of a higher yet unknown power focused on destroying his legacy as well as his musical career. Regardless to how conspiratorial this may sound, it wouldn't be enough to erase the picture that was being painted, showing both a monster's behavior that seemed to flirt with what some would call narcissistic traits. For example, R. Kelly was featured in a TV pilot called The Spot prior to all of the charges soon to come. Kelly reasoned and rationalized, perhaps defending himself or performing some sort of damage control, getting ahead of what was rumored to come. Was this a narcissistic trait or simply R. Kelly being an open R. Kelly?
I'm sitting here worth $100 million, $800 million, bruh. I've written for everybody. I've done things for everybody. I'm 31 in the game. Through the storm, through the rain, through the sleet, through the tsunami of rumors and allegations and court cases. Amen. Okay, y'all proof, y'all witness to that. Yes, sir. Okay, so if I did that and I'm still here, ain't no cop knocking on my door. Ain't nobody trying to investigate me, although they try to make it look like that. Okay, because that's what they do to us. Okay, that's what they do to us. And guess what we do when they do that to us? We run. We run with it. We believe it. But why am I here? Why am I still working on my album? Why am I still going from Florida to Atlanta to Chicago and building a house in LA? I'm doing all of this. Why is that?
Why is that? Is surely a reasonable, valid question. Here, Dr. Mickens explains.
So as a psychologist, psychiatrist, any of us, we use this book called the DSM. So in the DSM, all of the disorders are listed. Narcissistic personality disorder is in there. Mental health professionals have been studying this for upwards of probably 70 years, longer, maybe longer than that, on record. The criteria is a lack of a sense of empathy, a grandiose sense of self, the desire to only be affiliated with people of high status, excessive need for admiration. Those are some of the criteria that are listed in the DSM. But I will also tell you that based on my own clinical training, what isn't always said in the book, which I have found to be true, is the person with a true narcissism is always trying to find a way to exist. They're not quite sure that they are important and that they're a human being and that they're always looking. They always need someone to be telling them, you are here, you're the most important person. Everything is about reassurance. And they will flash on you if you do not give them what they need, or they'll just go away and find. And I'll say, it's safe to say, because I think a lot of women might be in this position, I've dated people who had narcissistic traits. I don't know if they met the criteria for personality disorder, but the extreme narcissist will not tolerate being around someone who will not adore them all the time. If you're in the room with a narcissist, you gotta be telling them that they're great 1,000% of the time. And usually, this is what psychology tells us. It's because of early injury. Often, it's because of early parental neglect, early parental abuse, trauma. A kid who's left in the house by himself or by herself, and the parents do not come along to tell them you're great, or just to hug them and nurture them, absolutely at risk for becoming a narcissistic personality.
Based on the psychological assessments, R. Kelly, like many artists in the entertainment industry, would fall under some sort of psychological umbrella that would arguably require help or counseling. The warning signs seen would bring the type of attention not wanted from authorities or the public, but nevertheless, especially for R. Kelly, the attention that was once rumors and innuendo began surfacing at a blistering pace. On July 17, 2017, BuzzFeed printed a scathing online article that claimed several girls were being held against their will in an abusive cult that's tearing families apart. Not long after, an Atlanta arts administrator took action by starting a petition to get Kelly's music off of Atlanta's airwaves. Next on the list of Kelly's foes came an organization named Time's Up. From there came a crushing blow from the popular Me Too movement. Perhaps the final straw was the Lifetime series Surviving R. Kelly. The images and interviews shown have revealed the whispers, his movements, and encounters, with an undertone that looked like his end. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and Kelly definitely held the crown as the king of R&B. But unfortunately, kings fall. They are sometimes dethroned by the very people they serve. History has shown us time and time again, and sadly for R. Kelly, his history pushed a play that fell on repeat. In February 2019, Kelly is indicted and the judge sets his bond at $1 million. In addition, Kelly has conditions placed upon him. He should have no contact with any witnesses or victims. He should turn in his passport. He should have no contact with their jobs, work, or school. In addition, he can't have contact with anyone 18 years or younger. After Kelly's indictment and ordeal with his latest encounter, he'd get out on bond and go to what appeared to be his favorite restaurant, McDonald's. As strange as that would seem to some, a happy meal in a happy place will really be anything but happy. In fact, what the comfort of his food would bring would be that even though he put up a brave enough front for the public to see, he'd soon realize a pain and suffering similar to what his accusers alleged they felt. Didn't matter that he was a Grammy-winning artist, or that he at one time had millions of dollars, or lived in a luxurious residence in Trump Tower. This time it was serious, and it was obvious that there was those waiting to make him pay.
Breaking news. Controversial R&B singer R. Kelly has just been arrested outside of Trump Tower. Reports have surfaced that he is facing a multitude of charges, including sexual misconduct, solicitation of a minor, and obstruction of justice. We will continue to follow this story and update you as the details come in.
The details came in, no doubt, and they came with authoritative actions, dictated with a possible finalization to Kelly's troubled story. One where at times it seems as if it was too much. What started out in Chicago spread to other states as far as New York filing charges. Then there would be one denial after another, be it for medical reasons, or his visitation, or simply getting bond. It seemed to be Kelly's case would catch no breaks, and at present, he was America's public enemy number one. All of this, even though he was supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. He was actually guilty, fighting to prove an innocence that appeared to be lost.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how hard is this case? It's a 12. The logistics are a nightmare. There's cases in Cook County and state court. There's 4 cases. There's a case in federal court here in Illinois and a case in New York. There's discovery coming from every which way and, frankly, accusers coming from every which way.
There's a number of sexual assault cases in which he's being charged with. There's 3 different types of criminal sexual conduct. Criminal sexual conduct in the 1st degree, 2nd degree, 3rd degree, and 4th degree. However, that's in Michigan. In Chicago, they break it down even more, depending on things like the age of the alleged victim, whether or not there was injury to the victim. There's a number of different components that make up charges of which they are claiming Robert participated in. The charges are very serious. He's facing what could be prison time in the state cases, and he's also facing serious federal time as well. Criminal sexual conduct cases, the penalty is the worst penalty that they have. And people will say, well, wait a minute, what about a murder charge? Sex charges come with a number of different negatives, meaning it's not only the jail and or mandatory minimum prison times that you have to deal with. My clients would have to register as a sex offender, and they may even have to wear a tether for the rest of their life.
First of all, the law of averages is against you. You've got over 30 separate charges. The odds of beating each charge becomes exponentially more difficult. You've got different jurisdictions, you've got different prosecutors. We have to win in 3 different places. It's overwhelming. It's not insurmountable, but it's overwhelming. The use of RICO here, I think, is way out of line. RICO was originally intended to criminalize the mob as an enterprise, they called it. Each person who might only be doing a little role, if we say they're in this group, in this conspiracy together, then we can prosecute them all for all of the crimes. What they've done is they've said that groupies and hanging out backstage constitutes a RICO enterprise, and I think that's quite the overreach.
The people who are coming after him years and years after the incident, and you have a prosecutor in Kimberly Fox who, for the first time in my career I've ever seen it, and talking to other attorneys, first time they've ever seen it, is putting her cell phone in the middle of a room and asking alleged victims to come forward.
I can't deal with whether this is vindictive or this is because he got under the wrong person's skin. People say that about Avenatti. Well, he crossed Trump, and that's why he ended up in all sorts of trouble. All I can do is deal with the cases, the indictments, and fight them as they come.
So I have actually been both a prosecutor and a defense attorney. I've been involved in solely doing these kinds of cases for almost 10 years now. And I spent plenty of time on the other side prosecuting sex offenders and supporting individuals who are victims. And I did it because I believe in the system.
We always say, whatever the judicial system says, that's what we're going to go with. The verdict of a jury, our peers. And I'm finding out we don't want to wait till a jury of 12 make a decision. We want blood. We want it now. And all of us are guilty of something. It just had to come out.
Let me tell you this. I actually watched the Lifetime show. And I was not Robert's lawyer at the time. I was appalled. I was thinking, who is this person? This is a fascinating story, and not in a good way. And the reason I became one of Robert's lawyers is because there are 3 sides to every story. I do believe that the law needs to be followed, both on the prosecutor side and on the defense. I'm not here to ask anybody, nor have I ever asked anybody to have sympathy for him. This isn't about having sympathy. This is about a man who is being accused of several things. Granted, none of them are good things that anyone would ever want to be sitting in his chair for. But it is astounding how many people have already judged him. So that's what's so fascinating too, is I believe that this case is absolutely setting precedents. In the United States, the wheels turn based on precedent. And unfortunately for Robert, he is the guinea pig of precedents when it comes to the hashtag #MeToo movement.
Tarana Burke, founder of the Me Too movement, sexual assault survivor, activist, and inspiration for today's woman. Hailing from the Bronx, Tarana grew up in a housing project where the normal everyday life would be considered hard, harsh, cold, and filled with what mainstream would label and call undesirables. People of color living well below America's poverty lines, where the atmosphere and conditions of such a place would breed an ugliness its occupants would unfortunately become desensitized to. Crime would be a common occurrence. There would be assaults, rapes, robberies, and other atrocities that would run rampant, making those who lived it believe life there was simply unfair. However, there would also be survivors, those strong enough to endure the hardships and overcome, Time would prove to make what was once a victim now a victor. Time would also prove to heal and grow a woman's inner strength to fight back and say no more. Enough is enough. We will be heard. And with these two words, a strong Black woman started Me Too.
Being Black and a woman in America in and of itself can be seen as an obstacle. And I'm proud that, as there's a famous quote that said, every day somebody tried to kill me and failed. And so the obstacle of, daintezjackson, the writer and playwright, says being Black and a woman is a metaphysical thing that I haven't figured out yet. And so I'm still trying to figure it out, but it's an obstacle I overcome every day.
The obstacles Black women have to overcome are more than challenging, to say the least. According to the U.S. DOJ Bureau of Justice Statistics, 35% of Black women experience some form of contact sexual violence during their lifetime. 40% of confirmed sex trafficking survivors in the U.S. are Black. 40 to 60% of Black women report being subjected to forced sexual contact by 18. Among students, 11% of Black girls in a national high school sample reported being raped. In the U.S., 38% of Black women experience sexual violence other than rape during their lifetime. In addition, stereotypes regarding African American women's sexuality, including terms like Black Jezebel, promiscuous, and exotic, perpetuate the notion that African American women are willing participants in their own victimization. However, these myths only serve to demean, obstruct appropriate legal remedies, and minimize the seriousness of sexual violence perpetrated against African American women.
It's a lot harder for people that have been traditionally marginalized in this country for their words to gain steam. This country is so habituated into pushing people out into the margins and taking away the voice of the powerless that it's really hard for people who are in that position to be taken seriously. And you can see the kind of hyper victimization of Black women and Native American women, transgender people of color especially, who disappear in large numbers. And it's just like swept under the rug. It's not the kind of all points bulletin that it really merits. So yes, I think there's a problem with Black people, Native American people, trans LGBT people getting full voice and representation when they are speaking on behalf of themselves and telling the world, like, I've been victimized.
The Me Too movement is a powerful movement. And the reason that it's so powerful is because it resonates with Blacks, white, Oriental. So they were able to tap into something that happened to every woman and to empower them to say something about it. In my lifetime, that's a good thing. One of the things that I look at when I think about a movement like that is one of the things that I can say about the Black community and other forces that I would like to see come together, because it's been like that over our history. Abraham Lincoln needed the slaves to help him to overcome the South. It was whites against whites. And so he needed something to help him overcome the evenness of it. So he had these slaves that would come back and tell him what was going on so he would know where to attack, where to send the generals. So there was a common goal. There was a collaboration. Same thing in the 60s. You had women's rights. Women was told that they needed to be barefoot and pregnant at home. And they said no. And their voting rights had just came, and the equality things that they were fighting for. And that's the same thing Blacks were looking for. Equal rights with Dr. King and civil rights. That's still rights and equality. It went together. Now take that movement to where we are with the Me Too. It happened to Me Too. Same thing. So that it becomes cohesive, it comes together, and it fits that narrative. But what that narrative doesn't speak to is people who are opportunistic. So you're going to have narratives that's being able to be drawn out off of that. I've always heard that narrative. Come to the police. Let us know what's going on. Don't keep this within it. Every narrative that we've heard, and I'm only a half a century that I can speak to, But in that half a century, I've always heard I didn't want to say anything because I was afraid, I was ashamed. And so after hearing that narrative for 50 years, you think at some point it would stick in and people would tell their story, because you have all of these programs now that deal with people live in their homes. And so their stories are being told. And so nothing is beyond society now. And when we look at that and we take that into this different realm and we say, okay, we're going to place this on R. Kelly, is that the actual depiction of him when we're having to reach back 20 years to find something? Or is it the culmination of it all coming full circle now because of the Me Too movement?
The lists and reasons of rationalizations in defense of Black women are more than necessary. They are more than needed. There is clearly more than enough proven reasons to support the sympathy towards a Black woman's fight for justice. But history proves those reasons are known. Time and time again, we see and hear the wrongdoings being done to not just Black women, but all women. And for the sake of a fair argument, the known statistics of wrong can also be a reason and motive for some women to lie. With the statistics being what they are in today's America, it isn't a far stretch for anyone to change. And sometimes the change can unfortunately be used as a motive to accuse, fabricate, and mislead, especially when you have odds that prove you have nothing to lose. It is based on one's condition, mentality, and upbringing that allows a moral verdict of guilt or innocence. But in that same hand is the argument that guilt or innocence should be based on proven truth. That thought process isn't exclusive to men or women, but to all Americans. Even the highly publicized and questionably targeted R. Kelly. Perhaps this is why there are those who question the honesty of his accusers. Kelly's current trial has several accusers. One of the more notable stories of alleged abuse comes from one Geronda Pace, a Chicago native who claims to have met Kelly at the tender age of 15. Geronda's story starts out different than most because she was actually an underage fan during his first trial. Geronda, along with her best friend at the time, Kiana Jones, will go on record to defend the troubled singer. What made that fascinating was the fact that the media, who gave her a voice, never questioned the fact that she was a 15-year-old defending a grown man being charged with child pornography.
I met Geronda in April 2008 at one of R. Kelly's court dates. My cousin couldn't go with me, so I was there by myself. And since she was there by herself, I struck up a conversation with her. I asked her how long has she been a fan, where she stayed at. I thought she lived a lot closer than what she did. She told me she lived out at I believe it was Elgin at the time, or out by Elgin. So I asked her how did she get there, and she said that she called the Metro, or some days she might spend the night at her grandmother's house, which lived on the west side. When I first met her, she looked young. So when I first met her, I was like, okay, I don't think she's as old as she's saying she is, but the way she carried herself and the way she acted, I believe that she was her age, that she said, which was 18 at the time. Me and Geronda were like best friends. We were on the phone every day, talking, texting. We were hanging out when she came to the city. My son went to her house and spent the night a few times. We were very close. One time, she calls me up and asked me to go to a party with her. And I asked her, where's the party at? She was like, oh, it's in Olympia Fields. So I'm like, okay. Now, I already know R. Kelly lives in Olympia Fields. So I'm like, okay, sure, let's go. I'll go with you. And I'm like, well, how did you get invited to this party? And she was like, oh, I'm friends with this guy named Bubba on MySpace. He invited me. So I'm like, okay. So we go to the party. We get to his house, and he asks us for our ID. Well, I gave him my ID. I was over 21. So I give him my ID. And then when he asked her for her ID, she came up with a story that she had left it at her uncle's house, who lived down the street from him, and we'll go get it and be back. We never went back. Geronda didn't have an ID. Geronda didn't have an uncle that stayed down the street. I wasn't even suspicious at that time. And about 2011, 2012, she came to my house, and we were sitting on my couch in the living room. And she was like, I have something to tell you, but I don't want you to think different of me, or I don't want you to be mad at me. And I'm like, what could you have to tell me that would make me mad at you? And then that's when she told me that she wasn't 18 when I met her. At that time, she had told me a story about her buying a car that was more than $10,000 and it was reported to the IRS. She told me that her father died and she got his life insurance money. And then I want to say maybe a month or two later, she told me that she had a settlement from Rkelly for suing him because she said that she was underage. And I was like, how were you underage if you were supposed to have been 18? I didn't get it. I didn't go into details with her. I didn't push her on it. But that's how I found out. When she finally came clean to me about her age, she told me that she was 16 in 2008, which now I'm finding out that she wasn't even 16 in 2008. She was younger than that. We started growing apart, I guess, after she met her now husband, and she moved, which is expected. You know, you grow up. My son got older. I had to focus more on him and going to school. She had to focus more on what she was doing. So talking every day on the phone made it went down to talking once or twice a week on the phone. And then when she did her first, and I guess it was the first interview with BuzzFeed, that's when I was like, okay, this friendship cannot go any further. I haven't followed the case. I haven't read anything she's done besides that one BuzzFeed interview. And with that, it's just like, okay, well, why? And it is not even more of the point of her lying. It's just, I feel like Geronda had a hidden agenda from the beginning. Because if you're a fan and you're going to court every day and you there to support him in 2008, then you wouldn't be doing this now. It's like, if you had this alleged relationship with him, then for all I know, you never told him how old you are. So if you had this relationship, then you were still lying to him about your age. Your mother was lying about your age. You had so many people covering for you. I believe that it was for financial gain. The criminal justice people and a lot of other people might feel that he was guilty in 2008 and he got away with it. And because it was I guess a black stain to them, it's more of a, we're going to find a way to get you now. That's why I don't agree with the Me Too in a lot of ways, because it's more of a, we couldn't get him then, but because of this Me Too movement, people are going to be more likely to say he's guilty. Now, as a black woman, I would say that I don't disagree with the entirety. I disagree with the ones that are using that movement for their own agenda. While I do believe some women's stories might be true, I believe it's a witch hunt for any man, black or white. For the grown women, I don't know their stories. I don't know if what they're saying is true or not. But when I met Rkelly, the words that I was told was, you have to be willing to do what I say. So as an adult, if you made that decision to do what he say, why complain 10 years later? You were grown when you made that decision. He didn't force you to do anything. He said that the one thing that he wanted was a woman that would be willing to do what he said do. To me, that means anything. It doesn't, anything under the sun that I tell you to do, you have to be willing to do it, no questions asked. And with me, that didn't sit right. So I told him I'll call him back when I make a decision. I never called back. As far as I know, she called back. Or she told him yes then.
The yes Kiana assumes was given is actually a reason for doubt. That yes is obviously truth, because if it wasn't, there would be no case for Geronda. It is examples like these that divide the feelings of fans and onlookers in Kelly's case, as well as question the validity of organizations like Me Too. Granted, Me Too was started to empower and uplift women, but like with anything, sometimes questionable accusations slip in and are defended based on being a woman. Unfortunately, Me Too comes as a double-edged sword, with those who support it and those who don't. The reality of it, however, is an almost certain death for any man Me Too accuses.
So I'm a professional female, And the Me Too movement is ruining my life. In healthcare, I work with surgeons and doctors, and they now have to be careful how they care for their female patients who are in need, who are dying because of the Me Too movement. They have to be careful how they talk to their female patients. It's ruining my America. With regards to R. Kelly, I think that these women are taking advantage of the movement. They're ruining it for the true victims that really are out there, that really do exist. Now those victims, the true victims, they no longer have a voice. They're silent. So these girls who have come together and created the Me Too movement and the Mute R. Kelly, they've ruined it for the true victims because we can't hear those people anymore. From my perspective, looking and seeing that these people creating it are Black, I haven't really put a lot of thought into that just because personally I don't see color just because of my career. I've worked with so many different races. But if I were to speculate on what it's like to be an African-American male or an African-American female in America, from everything that I've come across speaking with people, it's harder than it is to be white in America.
What I see going on right now is definitely political, and it's scary. So that means that any man who has a history of having a drunken night out, and you know who you are, any of those women that you may have slept with or hit on at a bar can now say, that man raped me. And you will go to jail until it is proven otherwise. That's what's going on right now, and that is scary. And that's another reason why I feel like I have to speak out.
Let's say a young lady went and genuinely thought R. Kelly was a wonderful guy, and we can use anybody. She comes out of that situation, and someone knows that she dated him for 2 years. If someone knows that she dated him for 2 years and they hear that, then they know that she possibly understands some things about him that anybody else may not understand, the average Joe, let's say. And so her story could be shaped if she liked, let's say, bondage or handcuffs, or like getting urinated on. You have BDSM communities and stuff to deal with things like that, underground communities. And someone can bring that and say, oh, he tied me up, and when actually they get off of that. And so you can switch that narrative to make it seem like he's this bad guy. And then so it's the Me Too. He did that to me. He wanted to keep me bondage. He kept me locked up. One of the things that I kept hearing that related the Lifetime scenario to the Me Too movement was the captivity of it all.
I think the Me Too movement is just an extension of feminism that I've seen, since I was a kid, where there were feminists, and then we're going to burn the bra, and then we're going to do this, and we're going to work, and it's just a continuation of that movement. I think they're taking it too far. Maybe people think I'm wrong for saying that, but I think that women get too much of the benefit of the doubt and aren't held responsible enough for their own decisions, and that the Me Too movement just is a function of that.
The issue with Me Too is you're always going to like a movement that empowers a certain group of people who don't have a voice. So let's say victims of sexual abuse, whether they're Caucasian or Spanish heritage or Middle Eastern, and they don't have a voice for a certain reason because they might be young, or they may be too old, or they're in a certain demographic, they're poor. So those people don't get a voice. So Me Too gives those people a voice. So I would never be against a movement that's giving a certain class of people a voice. So if these things did occur, or women of African-American descent are being victimized, I mean, you see the percentages of how many women are victimized or sexually assaulted in the African-American community. They're high, staggering numbers. So I would never be against a movement that's empowering those people. However, when you're empowering those people, you also have to be mindful that you can't empower those people by then victimizing somebody else in the process. In this case, you're empowering women, but you're saying, well, to empower women, we now have to bankrupt R. Kelly. We have to now make sure he gets no music out. We got to now make sure he's behind bars before he stands trial. And I don't think that's fair. I think the Me Too movement in empowering women is helpful, but when they're muting somebody before they are convicted and before evidence comes out, that part is unfair.
One of the things that's going to be set by this is precedent. And when you look at a man who's being charged like this, what does that give an ordinary man who's not of stature and don't have the ability to draw resources to have 4 attorneys? And all of a sudden he's made with these allegations. How then does he fight it? How then does he prepare himself for this Me Too movement as we move forward?
The functions of Me Too have become an ongoing debate, centering around accused men who sometimes have yet to be found guilty in a court of law, but nevertheless guilty once accusations have been levied against them in a court of public opinion. To date, there are over 260 prominent figures with pending charges of some sort of sexual nature, yet one black man sits in jail with proven guilt, and another faces his fate in court. Because of this, some wonder if these are targeted hits, so to speak, against African American males in the entertainment industry. Racially charged questions indeed. But because of the overwhelming racial disparities in the history in African American culture, the questions are valid. However, those questions have somewhat been put to rest with the recent conviction of Harvey Weinstein, thereby making high-profile sexual charges equal opportunity for all races to be placed in jail. Unfortunately, the negative stereotypes often seen or believed to be in the Black community, so often perpetuated by the mainstream masses, are now becoming frowned upon by not only the Black community, but also by those who were at one time thought to be the perpetrators themselves.
A lot of people perpetrate crimes against young people and are not held accountable, and people make excuses for them. And I think that now as a society, we need to not make excuses for people. We need to say, look, this is a problem. What you did is going to really hurt that person, possibly for the rest of their lives. And that's not okay. And you need to get help. It's easy to just vilify somebody and be like, you're a pervert, you're a pedophile, you touch kids, you do X, Y, Z, and that's not okay, and you're evil. But these are like hundreds of thousands of people. And because we don't want to like throw out all these people that are like nice guys or whatever, or who might give us a favor later on if they're powerful or have money or whatever, we tend to like change what they do or justify what they do. And we need to stop doing that because it's not a favor to them. Truthfully, if you're talking about the safety and health of a society and a people, we need to be able to say, you harmed me. You harmed me and you need to be held accountable. And they need to be able to make that transition and reclaim their own humanity. Because when they get all big and powerful off of victimizing people that are weaker than them or poorer than them or needier than them or whatever, they are losing their own humanity. And this is a rupture when it's not healed. They can just go on and keep doing it and create more victims. I think that Rkelly was able to get away for a long period of time with behavior that was pushed aside because he was famous and he was selling dreams. This isn't the average pedophile story because you have somebody who has so much more power due to their fame and because of the perceived ability for them to open doors for people. And so I think that you need to see a greater power differential in this particular case when you're dealing with, Rkelly as a celebrity. There's also like sports heroes or entertainment people who don't understand or who abuse their power as famous or wealthy people, powerful people, because they can.
There's an old saying that goes, it's not what people will do to you, it's what you allow. That statement proves to be a contradiction of what one can do, but what did you allow them to do? This is perhaps the most important question looming over the entire Rkelly ordeal. There are a million people pointing fingers, but the fingers that seem to point with the most controversy are pointed at the parents.
My daughter comes from a musical background.
a gift from God. She was thriving to be fulfilling her life as a star. You could see that she was been an aspiring singer since age 9. She have done just about every event you could think of in Florida. She done traveled state to state. She have done audience 12,000 at a soccer championship, everything. She met Rkelly through a tragedy situation that almost took my life probably a week before she even met him. Let me help everybody understand a little bit about the high-tempered suicide. Suicide come from a first-time relationship. I knew the little young guy, very, very respectful young guy. He cheated on her, and he cheated on her and blamed her music, saying that she didn't have enough time to have a relationship and her music. She kept picking her music over him. So that was his reason for cheating. After her attempted suicide, a professional gave a letter of release. And in that letter it said the only time my daughter was where she needed to be mentally was when she talked about her music. When you talk about her music, that brought her back to her reality where this was her comfort zone. This is where she's most herself. This is where she's able to express everything she want to do. Do not keep her from that. That was his advice to us. The thing about where was the parents, or let's say where was the father at? I was right there. My daughter went to the concert with me. And as me as a man, you kind of meet different sorts of people that you don't worry about what their past is. You always worry about who you are. At that time, we hear a lot of things. And as though I'm from a different side of the street, I deal with people with a whole lot of background. I can't judge your background until it affect me, who I see. Everything else was alleged. I didn't care if they was alleged or not, really, at that time, because it was nothing solidified. It was like, it be charged, boom, boom. I never even paid no attention to it. Did I know about Aaliyah and all that? Hell yes. Did my daughter have a sit down and understand who she was being around and wanted to work with? Yes. Did we fight and go back and forth with her? Yes. My daughter wasn't a 10-year-old or 11-year-old. My daughter was 17 years old, ready to be 18, was able to make her own music decisions on her own. So therefore, we thought we raised our daughter to always be truthful, understanding, and always give us the truth. So where was daddy? Right goddamn there. You ain't never heard me say I wasn't never around Rkelly, never met him. I met him, looked this man in his face, and talked about step by step what we was gonna do. He violated the step. I pick up shit real quick. And I tell you, this guy put me to sleep, but his whole approach was unreal. Like, did I have a thought in my mind that my daughter was lying to me or that I needed to not trust her? Never. Never. My daughter was supposed to work with this man, agreed, something that me and him agreed on. No money. He never gave up shit. He never gave me not a dime, never offered me a dime. This was a working relationship on behind the scene to show her the touring part of it. That was it. See, it wasn't about wasting the money in the studio. She already had that. Me as a parent, if I had the opportunity to do it again, it would be a hell no. Probably a little stronger words than that I would absolutely not happen. But it happened. So do I take responsibility? Hell yeah. Do I feel like I failed my daughter? Hell yeah. I failed her by trusting her. That's what I felt like I failed. I felt in myself that I should have went with my gut and said, no, it shouldn't have happened. All that crying and having a fit, and this was her shot, and taking in consideration that my daughter tried to bring harm to herself. I should have just put that out the door. And that's where I was standing firm at to one point. But when what everybody don't understand is they gotta go.
time, to do so. For people to just say that, oh, I was just kidnapped or I was tied up, I couldn't leave, I couldn't do this. It's like, what about the good times? I know there were good times.
Oh my God, this smells like fish grease.
I bet. What would you like to face? Could make you break out.
Well, because I'm a nigger and I'm from the hood, and these are the things we do when they're, in desperate times. Okay, so I'm kind of used to that. You guys are not, and it's okay. It's okay.
If a female don't have a relationship with their father, she's gonna go out and look for a father when it comes to a man in a relationship.
I am pro Rkelly. I will just wait for the evidence for the trial to start. And like I said, it really doesn't matter because I'm going to stick behind him regardless.
Precedents.
Whatever you want, whoa, whatever you need, my heart belongs to you. Oh, whatever you need, there's nothing I won't do. Oh, whatever you want, oh, my heart belongs to you. I say whatever you need. Whatever you need, my heart belongs to you. Whatever you need, there's nothing I won't do. Whatever you want, my heart belongs to you. I say whatever you need.